Hello guys, welcome to my first video on this channel. I'm a day trader. I trade mainly Bitcoin and Nasdaq. I watch also ES and DXY. I want to go over the last week trades. I took 3 trades. Let me show you. So here I was taking long on Bitcoin at the dip. Then I was taking take profit 1, then take profit 2, and then final TP. Then we got pullback and I reloaded another long. I took take profit 1 very fast because we didn't take the low, and then I closed fully position at the 50% of the range, and then I took a Friday short with fast cover, and then after the weekend we got the downside, we got the bearish news, and I closed position fully on Monday, so today. So let's go over the technical and order flow reasons why I took the trades. So let's start here with the AMT. So we are trading there. I'm going to lower the time frame. So this was the first drop. So it was the 6th of July drop. We got 4.2% and I took a long towards the highs. So what was the thinking? So first of all, we got a quarterly open move with a monthly open move. So you should never fade a quarterly open too early. And July is also a bullish month statistically. So I wanted to get on the train, so I was waiting for a pullback because we have been overextended. We got pushed from the lows, lovely SFP, and then we rotated this smaller range into the POC and into the VAG. So after the rotation to the VAG from VAL, we got a correction. This was the first deeper pullback from the lows. You can see if we measure, here was 2% move, 3%, 1.6, 1.6, and then we got 4.2% move. So this was like the discount. You can view it as a discount. And the technical reason was a value area low of this smaller range. So first pullback is usually bought up, yeah. It lined up with the liquidity right here. You can see we took the liquidity and then we bounced, but we front ran this bigger node. So we took this 100x, not fully. Okay, there was a huge demand. Let me refresh. So Binance futures. So we can see there were some orders, but they were spoofing. They pulled the orders once the market came. Like, you know, they even before that pulled orders like there. So you could see the interest of big players, and the zone gave the reaction. We outstretched because the orders were pulled, but still it gave a lovely trade. So these orders, like 1k bitcoins, this was also the confluence with the liquidity. So we took the liquidity, there were some interest, it was pulled, but never mind. We can watch in order flow what happened there. We got a huge volume spike. You can see here the delta minus 330 million. Yes, so the move from the lows and then the delta. So this was also like nice discount because also delta was there. It was the huge sell-off. The biggest sell-off from the lows was this. So it was the first big dip, let's say. So here was a 500 million volume, and then the 1.2 billion came in with big shorts, open interest up, delta down, so a lot of people shorting down there. The market went down a bit, so they think they were right, but then we went above and squeezed them. Like here was the pain point, let's say. Initial point of selling was there, so once the market went above, they puked. You can see they were closing here, and final capitulation of shorts was there at the top above the high. So we got a nice volume, 1.2 billion, then also some continuation volume, some lowering volume then. So big volume, big drop in terms of percentage, and nice vols. They were pulled, but never mind. Still we got bounce. Some spot vols on Binance spot, but not much, like 35 bitcoins, yeah, so nothing crazy. Then on EXO, if I pull out this, we got a TPOC from and VPOC from Asia, so this was the inefficiency, and also from New York. So market closed the inefficiencies with the liquidity, with high volume, high symmetry, and then we bounced. So this was basically the thinking about the trade. Then I covered and took final TP up here. Also we had the daily TPOC down there, 61,700, so it was another confluence for the bounce. Market went for inefficiency, closed it, and boom, we bounced. This is a 30-minute TPO, so 5-minute, 30-minute TPO, we went over that. Then a weekly TPO. So it was this spike, you can see previous weekly VAH, and it was naked because we opened right here, and then boom, we bounced into naked VAH. So from profile theory, this is like pullback that you should buy at the previous day VAH, and price accept it, and then we reject it. So this is very, very, very bullish. At the time of the bounce, you didn't know if it is bullish, but you know, like you are buying previous day value area high, so it's important. Then monthly profile, we opened down there, we rotated the range, so this was the rotation of previous monthly range. So like we did front run a bit, a range rotation, so this was some profit taking, and then we finished the rotation after I took the long. So rotation wasn't finished, market was rotational, and we got the dip from the TPOC and the VPOC from the range. So from fair value we got a discount buy, and then finish the rotation. So I was targeting the rotation, and once the market finished the rotation, I closed the trade fully because this was the first rotation. So it's always important to take profit after the first rotation, and the first rotation is the strongest rotation, so it's a more likely market will then also pull back. What happened, yeah. Okay, so this was the thinking about my first trade. Okay, then open interest and CVD is very important. So here is the drop, yeah, you can see. If I go on lower time frame, this is the drop. You can see huge open interest increase at the bottom, 3.2k, and from the initial point of selling it was 4.8k. So it's pretty nice and solid threshold, I would say. You can see like since we were ranging here, there was just open interest decreasing, decreasing, decreasing. Then we got some initial spike and then a bigger spike. So it was like 5.5k open interest. You can see CVD going down. So it was a lot of shorts here, and if you move above them, so let's mark them, it's this candle, yeah. So you can see here market rejected second time, third time push, acceptance. We got the back test like on that previous weekly VAH, same thing, and then boom, 50% reaction, boom, finish. Once we accepted the buff, here was some rejection. Once we accepted the buff, rest is history, shorts blue. You can see huge OE decrease there. And then the final drop was here at the top. I was closing the position fully here because of the previous weekly rotation, previous monthly rotation, sorry, this one. Yeah, so right here. Okay. On a 50-minute we can see we did open interest round trip. So always work with the same amount of traders, let's say. So here it was open interest increasing, delta going pretty much up and sideways. So here was it was muted, like a lot of longs and here a lot of shorts. Then some shorts closed, and you can see like from this drop, here was the main capitulation, like here was the OE drop, CVD up, and here was the pain point for shorts maximum. So we did the round trip, delta also did. Yeah, from this high you can see, so it did the round trip. So everybody who sold from this point bought back, and there is nothing more to buy, and we are below the low. So who is left to buy? There is just no delta, it needs to go down, and then we can just go up and buy. So like the market buyers were exhausted from the delta point, and also open interest round trip locally from this low. Also here was nice chunk of liquidity. We didn't took the whole liquidity, but we pretty much stepped nicely to it. Yeah, you can see extension is like 1.15%. So we bought the range low, we sold the range high, because like I play always the market as a range. Also if it's trending, you at the end of the day building a range on the smaller time frame, and on higher time frame it's trend, like market doesn't move in one line. So here I took the long, and I covered first take profit there because we took the liquidity back. So this was the first point I took the profit, because here either you bounce here and then you reject and go for a lower liquidity, and then maybe up or maybe down, or you continue. Yeah, so this is it. First TP there, because we did a big symmetry to the downside, so it was a high chance pretty much we can just go lower. Yeah, because there is just high chance of that. So I want to cover myself. So here was the TP. Then after initial point of selling, Once we accepted above, I took another TP right here because we destroyed some shorts, and then the final capitulation of shorts, I took the full TP. Yeah, so you can see it. You see pretty much nice OI decrease. If you look on smaller time frames, you can also see like we got some shorts left, but not much, but then we dropped even more. So you could see like 50% of them are maybe wrecked. Yeah. Okay, this was the first trade. I could short this, but I didn't because like the move from quarterly open is not worth shorting, I think. And then I was waiting a pullback. The reason for pullback was simple. It was the capitulation of longs. This big capitulation of longs. Oh, sorry, shorts. This was the reason for a range, at least, because you wrecked a lot of shorts, and who is left to buy? Like no one. So then you need to range a bit, reset delta, and then you can again go higher. The second trade I took was long here, and the reason was simple. So from delta perspective, we got like bullish deal, you can see. A lot of people were selling down there, but the price was making higher low. And this is not enough, like this divergence. You can go easily lower, but it was one contributing factor that we bounced. You can see a huge shorts coming down there. Open interest increasing from this point. Let's mark it. Always mark the high OI increases. And you could see a lot of shorts, then some longs also came in. Going on smaller time frame. Let's mark more precisely. Actually, this is the 8k OI increase. It's huge. But the first chunk of OI was like delta based, negative, so it was shorts. And then it went up and CVD went sideways, a little bit down, so it was also like shorts and longs, it was also a bit muted. And the thinking behind this long was simple. We had some liquidity below the low, but the main liquidity was below. So there was some liquidity I was aware of. Then there was some bits I was aware of on futures. You can see 240 to 133, 250, 230. So maybe 800 bitcoins here. There are some smaller orders. On spot there was some 38 only, but before it was like 100. So you can see the entity put the order same as here on the first long, then he like wanted to reload, he put the same small order, then he added, and then he removed the order. So here was smaller order, but at the end of the day he showed where he wants to buy. So it was interest zone and valid long from technical point, liquidity point, so very good area. So there were some bits also, and also summer trading. Yeah, you can expect lower volatility, lower volumes, harder to fill the walls. So this was all playing out. We can see here the volume was lower. Yeah, at the bottom, like 200. Yeah, that's very small. 200 is like elevated. Yeah, and the drop before got like 560, 500, 300. So it was like 500 volume at the peak and 200 at the middle. So not much volume, yeah. With this volume you cannot fill too many walls, and we were staying there a lot of time. So it was like choppy at the walls, yeah, a lot of liquidity below, but still it market didn't have the power to fill the walls and go below the wall. So we did 400 and the low, and then boom, we bounced. So this was the reason I was taking aggressive TP here, because we didn't take the low and the volume was lower. So I expected a bounce, but I expected a smaller bounce, and I was not sure if the low will hold, but it didn't and at the end of the day. So very good. I closed position fully here, which was maybe a bit of mistake, because this point of selling, this increase from here, you can see boom, we reclaimed. Then this was the last kiss of the initial point of selling, and the rest is history. Then the squeeze came in. First shorts wrecked, and then some long started to building up here, mainly in this region. There were some longs, so I could postpone my TP, but I took TP right here, and I was not sure at the New York Open what will we do, but we got equal high, so I could let it run. But it is what it is. I was waiting for this liquidity, and this bounce pretty much played out. It was to 50% of the range, so it was good. And from this point, from the first trade, we build a range, this one, and it was also the wall of the range, because here it is a trend, market is trending, then boom, first pullback, this is your range, and then you can trade the range before the breakout or breakdown. So this was my thinking about it. So we got the val here, we got the liquidity, we got some walls and lower volumes, so market didn't breach this low and we bounced. And I was taking TP right here, so it was like range rotation, yeah. So it was valid. Then we got the push, and at the time of the push I was thinking we might take the high, because we were accepting above the VAH. We took this high, but mainly we should aim for this high, and you can see market did nasty front run, yeah, 0.02%. And also reason to target the high was simple. It was this liquidity, but it never got taken, and the same principle applied there, like applied down here. We took this liquidity and then we rotated higher, and here we took this internal liquidity and then we rotated lower. So same thing, lower volumes, a lot of walls. At the top there was even more walls, like at the bottom. But it was a trending market, quarterly open move, so we didn't need much walls here at the bottom to bounce. We need more at the top to create a range, exhaust market, and then push lower. When we check Binance futures, you can see a huge demand, huge supply, sorry. Yeah, like 2k bitcoins I think there were. And at this region there were like longs going in. So it was this region, yeah. You can see a lot of longs. Also on coin margin contracts, a lot of longs just going there. It was this point, you can see 2k longs. Basically the walls that got filled got just changed to the longs. So 2k walls got filled and 2k longs opened into them. And then I was not shorting blindly like, oh, we got some longs and I'm gonna short from this candle the first 15 minutes. No, you can see we just held the value area, 70% of the candle we held, and then we continued higher. So there was no weakness until there was a weakness at the New York Open. Here you can see a good delta at the top, 40 million. So right into those asks, you can see it right here. Yeah, 400 bitcoins filled and also another 300 holding. So I was taking short right here, placing stop loss above the high and then riding it down. I took TP here because there was a big cluster. I suspect the entity that was filling the big short here took the TP1 here, or at the moment he wanted to take the profit here, but market at the first time it usually front runs it, because if you see that there is like hundreds of millions dollars sitting, what will you do? You will take profit before the wall even reaches. So this was the point. I took first TP here, second TP here, and then boom, we bounced, we went into weekend, then we got the bearish news, immediate dump, then we retested the news, and then we filled after the Sunday open. Once the futures opened, we started to bounce on the Asia, and then boom, we filled the big entity. He filled TP1, I think, and then we went lower, and I took final TP here because you got the big inefficiency here. So once market accepted into the inefficiency, you can see we did a visual SFP and psychological bounce on these walls, then second retest, third retest, another visual SFP of this low, and then another visual SFP. But once we didn't make a SFP, we accepted into the walls. This was like the first test of the walls, and after the first test didn't hold, then we filled the whole walls and went lower. So here is the moment you got acceptance here, like first touch in the wall, bounce, and then boom, we failed. And you got this big gap that is ending, this inefficient price action that is ending at this low. So I was taking TP here. This was like my TP2 and this was like TP1. I didn't want to hold the trade to lower, like we did drop a lot lower, but I don't care, like we are still bullish, so it was a good target. Like I lost 1.7%, so you can see trading isn't perfect, but you just need to take your cake from the market and that's it. So these were my free trades. You can see like I was managing it properly, and this was it. And the reason was, as I told you, we went above now we got the huge shorts after the futures open on Sunday. We got huge oil increase, and the shorts were pushing down. Also here's some longs, but it's mostly shorts, and the open interest is huge, 16k. So very huge. We are getting to resistance and to the support on CVD. So once we round trip this, it can be very good opportunity to load longs, but you need to be careful because this is a strong trend when oil is ramping up. So you need basically the most probable scenario is you took the liquidity, and then if you reverse and trap them, then boom, you can bounce and go for these equal highs. I think Bitcoin needs to fix them. But here is very nice liquidity down there, so or those shorts will pushing to the liquidity, and then maybe if buyer shows up, we can go higher. But you always need the liquidity if you want to reverse from big shorts, because they are riding it down and you don't want to step in front of the train. It will roll you out. So it's very important to stay patient after we take liquidity, and then if metrics are aligned on EXO and other metrics I show you, then you can think of long and maybe trapping them, but not now. It's very risky and you can just long and lose, you know. And here you can see those longs, yeah. So after the New York Open, we trapped them, we retested them. This zone, I will mark it. I like to mark whole candle or just the biggest volume of the candle. So like this. You can see 79 million delta and 42 million delta. Once we got below, boom, we retested second time. Then at the weekend we grabbed the equal highs and it was the final story. So we retested the longs and it was this was the thinking, like they will be trapped and they will close and create this down move, but the different thing a bit happened. Let me show you. Yeah, they were closing like here. You can see the round trip, local round trip, but not full round trip. And also some increase, some new longs, but they pretty much closed at this range. So this move to the downside was caused by bad news and new shorts coming in the market after the open on the Sunday. So they were pushing down. So this was my TP1, like we wrecked the shorts, and this could be your TP1. So this is pretty much it. Let me show you also EXO. So we did a we did a rotation, then we got a pullback, and then I reloaded the long. But from monthly perspective, there was not much information on this chart. We are just buying previous monthly fair value, let's say. On a weekly basis, there was a buying tail, so we stepped into it and failed to fill it. So very strong low, high volume low, so it held on first touch. And the same principle pretty much on the top. This was also, let me replay. You can see this was also strong high, and once market stepped into it, let me speed it up. Yeah, you can see market like filled, and then we got a rejection. In the normal market conditions, we would definitely take the high, but it was pretty much high volume high. We got the selling tail, same as at the bottom buying tail, so another factor that we held the high. Daily TPO, there was there was a strong high, you can see also. And here was strong low. It is not showing because one TPO is missing, but this was pretty much a strong low, and we held the low. So same symmetry, we can say, same internal liquidity, same strong high, strong low logic, entities buying down there, up there. Very interesting. And 5-minute sessions. We got some New York session POC here. So on the second long, it was also the nice confluence with the liquidity. And on the top, same thing. So you can see like mirroring effect, or how would I call it? Very nice from the market. And here, like you reg the longs. You can maybe see it here. Yeah, you can see these longs. I will close this. You can see these longs. And they were still open, like this exit is showing. So they were holding, and boom, they closed there on the bearish news. And then new short started to enter. But I don't like the exonet longs net shorts on the desktop version. I like it more on the web version. I think it's more glitchy on the desktop. But yeah, you can see they were holding here and then closed here. So they were not the main contributing factor to the pullback, but they were contributing factor to the range, and the news were contributing factor to the downside, 100%. So even if you are trading trapped longs or shorts, sometimes they just create a range and then the move forms. They don't have to start the move down. I mean, they do start the move down, but they don't have to be contributing factor for the deeper pullback, just for the start of the move. So I think I went over everything I wanted to cover. Big fronter on there, big fronter on there, like tricky market at the summer, but if you know what to expect, it's not that hard. You can see now maybe we just take another internal liquidity right here, and maybe we also again front run this. Also TPOC down there, but not strong highs, strong lows, just cascading liquidity. This is easily to be taken. These two lows with this one, easily to be taken. There is no naked POC, but if you merge, there is no naked POC, but you can see here is the point of control of this day, of Wednesday. Nothing on weekly, same as here. Monthly, nothing. There was just those tails, we don't have that. So now it's less probable we will bounce, but still we can, because you know, summer, so we can chop, we can continue chopping here, and then maybe break out. So this is from the this is the first video. I hope you like it. I will be creating a group for traders. It will be for free. I will share setups with you. I will be showing the tools I use every day, how to execute, how to manage the trades. So if you want to learn from free, I will pin the Discord below. But first I need to give some updates there. You will have some free courses, like how to identify trap traders, or how to trade AMT, or how to, I don't know, you can write me down what would you like, what tutorials. I will make it for free. I don't need money from this. I'm profitable trader, so I'm just showing you how to manage positions, because a lot of is management. You can see, yeah, like I could prematurely close there, yeah, or here, or maybe didn't take profit here and then I would round trip 2 times, yeah. So you just need to know what you trade, what is the seasonality, what you can expect, and that's it. So hope you like it, hope you enjoy it. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Bye.